Is there a button here for pushing for the slides? The green one, the big green one. Awesome, thank you. Should have known it was the big green one. Hi, I'm Peter. I'm from the University of Otago, but don't hold it against me. I want to talk very briefly about, well, in fact, 6 minutes and 48 seconds, about some work that we're starting. We've just received some funding from the Ministry of Business, Innovation and Employment to support the scientific basis of a breeding program for bees in New Zealand. Now, Gertrude, who's part of the team, is going to talk later about some of the more detailed aspects of the program. So I'm just going to blather on about the sorts of things we're trying to achieve, and I'm hoping to finish early enough so you've got lots of time for questions, because actually a lot of what we need to do is interact with beekeepers and make sure that they are comfortable with what we're doing and that they are feeding into our processes so that when we end our grant in about 5 years' time, we provide you with what you want rather than what I think you want, which is probably not what you want. Now I'm just going to press the green button. Yes. Okay, so what are we? So this is a 5-year research project funded by the Ministry of Business, Innovation and Employment. We have got lots of money for this project, and that's important. We'll get to why that's important in a second. The aim here is to deliver genetic improvement to the New Zealand beekeeping industry. We feel that there is a huge opportunity in using the technologies that have already been used very successfully in the dairy, beef and lamb industries to support honeybee breeding. Honeybees are not cows and they're not sheep, so there's a lot of biology that we need to understand better to implement this, but actually the benefit of those technologies in other industries have been such that we think there will be an enormous benefit to New Zealand beekeeping. I'm going to press the green button again, dangerously. Yes, okay, so cooperation between science and industry partners. We have a lot of people involved in this grant. So the University of Otago is leading it, but only because somebody has to lead it, and we had our hands up at the wrong time. We work very closely with our partners, Abacus Bio, who provide industry engagement and a fantastic background in quantitative genetics. We're working with AgResearch, who are providing some of the genomic technologies. We work with Plant and Food, who are providing support around pollination because they are awesome at that. The Cawthron Institute in Nelson is providing support around cryopreservation of bees, and then we have a few industry partners, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Key to this is that all the funding comes from the government, and the aim of the government funding here is an industry good. So one of the things that we're very keen on is ensuring that if we develop tools and technologies that are to be used or can be used by industry, that we don't own them, that we will be passing them on as freely as possible to the beekeeping community, so that when we finish our 5-year grant, what you're left with is a set of tools and technologies to run a beekeeping program, a bee breeding program, without interference from the University of Otago or any of the other partners. Okay? So there may be cases where we have to develop IP, particularly around genetic testing, that where to commercialise that technology, IP has to be protected, but at the university we're very clear that we're passing on that as a royalty-free kind of approach. So while this is funded by the government and there are lots of people involved, the aim here is to leave you with a bee breeding program that is world-class and world-leading. Alrighty. So, look, I should probably look at my slides before I talk to them. So our idea is to develop and apply tools to integrate modern genomic selection into honeybee breeding, enabling New Zealand beekeepers to rapidly improve honeybee performance. We'll just move on to the next slide. That's what we're going to do. How are we going to do it? The first part of this process is defining what genetic merit is for bees. Can we actually say what tools and technologies can we develop so we can say which bees are better than other bees? Okay, so it's an absolutely critical part of the project. We need to think about a whole load of different issues, so around performance. And the performance is not just in honey production, but also in disease, response to disease, winter shutdown, all those traits that you're interested in. Critically, in the next few weeks, we're going to be, or next few months, let's say, we're going to be sending out a survey asking beekeepers what sort of traits that they would like from their bees. And it's really important to us that you guys engage with that survey, because if you don't, we will breed bees that we think we like. You know, they'll have hats or they'll wear white coats or something. We want bees that actually are suitable for your industry. So please, when that survey comes up, engage with it. It will be an extremely annoying survey because it will ask you the same question multiple ways, multiple times. Please get the way through it. There is madness in our method. No, there's method in our madness, which will enable us to work out the trade-offs that you're prepared to make between particular traits. Ooh, time's running out. Excellent. So the idea, once we've identified what traits we're interested in and found ways to measure those traits effectively, we then go and select and breed the best candidates for those traits. We will be working with a current elite queen breeder, which is Better Bees Research Limited. But the idea with working with Better Bees is not that they are going to gain all the benefits of this program, but that they are already running a beekeeping program, a bee breeding program we can work with, and we'll be using them as an exemplar. So working with them to improve their stocks, and then testing their stocks to see how much our input has improved their bees. Then the technology goes out to everyone. Here we go. Obviously working with genetics consultants, Abacus Bio, they're just great partners and they have all that skill in other industries, and so we're very pleased to work with them. We will also, in the grant, test those improved genetics in commercial conditions with a bunch of companies, currently Taylor Pass Honey Company, Taitakaro Honey, Midlands Apiaries, and Ngāti Porou Mea. Now, if anyone is interested in being involved in those programs, please come and talk to me, because the more people who test our bees, the better. We also intend to develop new indices for traits, so finding ways to measure traits, particularly working with plant and food around pollination, but also disease resistance. Can we find new ways to measure these things which make it easier for beekeepers to do this? Ooh, 57 seconds. This is terrible. Normally I talk fast. We'll be working, as I said, with plant and food and denatured diagnostics in particular to do that. 50 seconds. My God. You're not supposed to cheer. Okay, so as I said, we're putting out a breeding goals survey that's coming very soon. We want you to tell us what you want improved in New Zealand bees. The point of this program is not for us to tell you what you want, it's for you to tell us what you want and us to provide tools and technologies to get you there. So please keep in touch and stuff. We will be doing a genetic diversity survey. If you're interested in having your bees surveyed, we're going to sequence their entire genomes. If that's of interest to you, then let us know. We have a website, futurebeesnz@wordpress.com. And that is all I had to say, and I had 14 seconds left.